special.
I ain't scared of none of you.
He's a bad man.
When's the last
Bad man.
you met killed somebody?
Let's talk about just how bad he is.
I went to the worst prison. The food is not good.
Bad man.
Bad man.
Get
I ain't scared of none of you. No, see, you don't get it. Someone's gonna put some teeth in your mouth. I suffer no fools. I am not into little silly fights. I'm not. Someone's gonna put some teeth in your mouth.
bad man.
Bad man.
I hear a guy made fun of Corey's bald head. That was the last thing he ever did.
You don't snitch.
Corey killed him with his bare hands.
If I don't deal with you, you'll get dealt with. As a matter of fact, and what'll happen is they'll deal with you.
I didn't get much sleep last night. I had bad dreams because of the bad man. Bad dreams, bad man.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Leave that
Bad.
man alone. I suffered through a terrible nightmare about him last night.
Say it with me, man. He's a bad man. This brother is something special.
He's a bad man.
We ought to have some fun. Doggone it, we are going to have some fun. Can I tell you how all this stuff started? And when you think about it, if I was sitting there thinking about it the other day, 5.5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, I was doing time. What were you doing 5 years ago? I was doing time. And I came home and I said, you know what? I want to continue doing what I was doing. Someone said, you went to prison? Yes, I went to prison. Haven't you? Who out there hadn't gone to prison? I thought that's what you're supposed to do, right? I'm kidding. Yeah, I went to prison. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. I'll tell you more about it. Some people didn't know that. Two things I'm finding out that some folks don't know. One, I went to prison. Two, I got another channel. Some folks are like, wait a minute, you got another channel? Some folks on the main channel don't know about the other channel. Some folks on the other channel don't know about the main channel. And none of them know about Patreon. So I wanted to continue what I was doing, which was just teaching the Bible and really focusing. I was focusing on men, but I want to focus on not just men. And so when I got out, two of my daughters gave me a really, really, really silly idea. Daddy. They call me daddy, right? My children call me daddy. Well, not all of them. One calls me dad. The youngest calls me old man. But two of them said, Daddy, you ought to go on YouTube. Actually, one said, you should do this on YouTube rather than just doing a website. I didn't know. Listen, I didn't know anything about technology. I didn't know about any of the stuff that you guys dealt with. I was literally under a rock. And so one said, you ought to do YouTube. I mentioned it to another daughter, and the pastor said, yeah, you should definitely do YouTube. Who does YouTube? Only goofy people go to YouTube, right? People that want to upload videos about their cats or talk about what they ate. What kind of moron goes on YouTube? I didn't know. I didn't know that folks go on YouTube. I didn't even know there was a such thing called YouTube TV, which I am a subscriber to. I got that too. I think I have like every other or just about every streaming service, but I didn't know. So I just started making videos, and doggone it, here we are. Me and Joey. We are here. But can I ask a question though? Let me go to the poll. I'd like to know what you guys I almost hit the wrong thing. 49% on the other channel have said they've been watching for 1 to 3 years. 3% said, wait, there's another channel. Let me go over here. Wait a second. Doggone it. I'm in wrong spot, Corey. Okay, here we go over here. And over here, 38% says they've been watching for 3 to 5 years. 16% for about years. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that was kind of in between the 2 and 3 years. And then 38% says for the last year. 7% got it right. I was born a smart Christian. Amen. I was born a smart Christian. Corey, you just late to the party. You just got here, Corey. You just got here. I was born a smart Christian. Question. Here's a question. Who was here at the very beginning? Does anyone Does anyone even remember the very first video? We're going to have some fun now. We're going to cover some stuff. We're going to have some fun. Obviously, we have to go over the Bible. But does anyone remember the very first video? Before we do, I'm going to play some of the earlier videos, just parts of the, if I can find it, just parts from the earlier, the beginning of Smart Christians. As a matter of fact, it used to be called The Smart Christian Channel. And I thought, you know what, wait, no, I don't want to be The Smart Christian Channel because it gives the appearance that I'm saying I'm the smart Christian, which I'm not. And so we put an S on it to make sure, no, I'm not the smart Christian. So here are some of the just small parts of the earliest videos.
They should put you away forever. You're the worst kind of person. That's what was told to me. Sweet little old adorable me. And I probably deserved it. Is once saved, always saved, or can you lose your salvation? In today's video, we'll discuss proof that demonstrates that you absolutely cannot lose it. The Bible says, train a child in the way that he or she should go, and when they're old, they will not depart. But how come it doesn't seem to always work? Maybe because that's not what it says. You can go.
You don't even remember the old intro, the old little cheap gray, black and white intro. Yeah, you all don't remember that stuff. That was, by the way, that was November of 2020. Yeah, 2020. We had not elected a president yet. Just started. That was my granddaughter. She's a lot bigger now. Here's what's funny. That chair that I was sitting in, that was a chair from my old office. I didn't even know that. My wife said she kept one of the chairs. That was one of my old chairs. Yeah. I think I am probably I'm about 10 pounds heavier, and some of the weight has shifted a little bit. So, but that's all right though. I'm getting back to it. I saw this like, wow, Corey. And so that chair, here's the funny thing. That chair was a chair in my office. I had to throw the chair out because it got old. So that chair that I was sitting in the beginning was literally a 20-year-old chair. It's crazy. That was a 20-year-old chair, office chair that I was sitting in. And of course, yes, been talking about once saved, always saved, eternal security, and so forth from the very beginning. But someone said, yes, wait, you were in prison? Yeah, I was in prison. I went to prison for preaching the gospel. Yeah, I was innocent. I was railroaded. No, I'm kidding. I used to be a investment advisor. Used to work for a couple different firms, Prudential, American Express, and then Edward Jones, and then started my own firm. I'm not going to go so much into it, but I did a bad thing. I did a real bad thing, a rotten thing. And so because of that, the federal government said, Corey, we need to take you off the street. We need to talk with you for a second. And I said, about what? Me and the federal government did not see eye to eye. And let me just say this, when you and the federal government doesn't see eye to eye, they win. It ain't like having an argument with your spouse. You can argue with your spouse. You may or may not win. But you having an argument with the federal government, and you probably are not going to win. I didn't win. They told me, after being pleading guilty to actually, here's what's funny. I was never indicted. Now, this is a riddle, a legal riddle. I was never indicted. I never signed to what most people, when they plead to sign, I signed to a bill of information. If you ever know what a bill of information is, that is your attorney saying, you know what, don't even fight. Just whatever they say. If your attorney ever has you to sign to a bill of information, it better be a sweetheart deal you're getting. My attorney I should have never signed that. But anyway, so now, by the way, you are to be getting leniency when you plead guilty. Never had a change of plea hearing. And so going through my sentencing, I'm thinking, when you plead guilty, you're going to get not a slap on the wrist, but you're going to get a lighter sentence because that's the point of pleading guilty. It takes away the government having to prove anything. It makes it easier for them. And so, no, it's not like nolo contendere. No. Signing to a bill of information. There's nothing else. That's that. It is you putting your neck on the chopping block and however they want to slice it. But because in essence you are pleading guilty, you are normally going to get a lighter sentence. Well, not me. I got the maximum. Amount. So 240 months. 240 months. As a matter of fact, I think I told you guys earlier, a few months this year, February of this year, was my actual out date. February 2/25/25 was my out date. So if things would have gone the way they wanted it to, I would have been out. This would be what, 6, 7, 8 months out now. So yeah, but it's been 5 years. And so that brought me here. I won't go through all of that, but God has been certainly good to me. I can't tell you how good he's been to me. And just the mere fact of getting to know you guys and interacting with you guys, it's been a heck of a journey without question. Now, those were my earlier videos. By the way, thank you to Montana Viking. He doesn't do very many videos anymore, but he's the one that made the video in the intro. He's a bad man. I don't know what prompted him to do that, but I fell in love with that video. So anyway, does anyone remember what the very first video? Who knows what the first video was? As a matter of fact, I don't even think you can't go to the channel and see anymore because I think I have it. Let me see the very first video. Do you all have Corey Miner's very first video? Wait, where is it? Nope, you can't see it. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Here is the very first. If I can find this doggone thing, here is the very first video. I look a lot younger. I look a whole lot younger. And why is my thing on that? I look a whole lot younger.
How come there are so many different views and interpretations about the Bible? And I'm talking about just between Christians. And why do we fight over all these different views? We don't even seem to be godly when we have disagreements about the Bible. We're divided over so many different topics such as once saved, always saved, tongues, baptism, even over topics such as homosexuality and abortion. It's gotten to the point to where we're even divided over whether we can even trust the text of the Bible. But wait a minute, shouldn't we as Christians be in agreement over the Bible? Shouldn't we be able to read and to understand God's word the way God intended us to? Surely he didn't want it to be this complicated. Surely he didn't want us to be this divided. But did you know that God gave us his word so that even the least of us could understand it? I mean, think about it. Since God is a God of sense, surely he would want his word to make sense to all of us, even those who are full of nonsense. Does that make sense?
I saw that video like, wow, look, man, it felt like that was 20 years ago. It felt like that was 20 years ago. Now, I've been trying to, things really hadn't changed in terms of what to cover at all. As a matter of fact, this is the second video, which is what we do all the time.
I've got my Greek Bible, I've got my Hebrew Bible, I've got my grammars and lexicons, I've got my studies on systematic theology and synthetic theology and all these different studies. I've got books back there, I've got books over there, I've got books in another room. Does it really take all of that just to be able to read and understand the Bible? No.
That was the second video I did dealing with how to study the Bible. And so that's been kind of a passion. Obviously, that's been kind of a passion. I wanted to pass it on. And so no, it's not the prison food. Prison food did not make me any particular weight. No, I worked out every day. Well, not every day. I worked out 5 days a week in prison. We have what's called a car in prison. In prison, you can't, it's not like going to 24-hour, do they still have 24-hour fitness? It's not like going to 24-hour fitness or Planet Fitness or what have you. There certain prisons, there's a weight pile, what we call a weight pile. And so when you go there, the moves are 10-minute moves. When you get there, you've got an hour for your spot. So let's say there's a bench press. And so we have bench, our car has this bench for today on Mondays. We got it for an hour. Then as soon as that move is up, somebody else is coming right in. So you have to get your workout in. So I led the car in part of the time I was at one prison in Fort Worth. When I got down, we didn't have weights in Beaumont. Moved down to Fort Worth and then got into a car there, and then we made our own weights at Forest City. And then when I got moved, put in the shoe, and then moved over to the low, then I got shipped over to Seagoville. Then at Seagoville, we had there's a weight pile there, or when I say weight pile, we have weights there, and so I led a car there. So when I got home, I didn't lead a car. As a matter of fact, they don't have, I don't know if y'all know this, they don't have the same kind of food that we have here. And you can, I'm always moving in prison. So home, not so much. I run around a lot chasing grandkids and kids. Not even kids, grandkids and animals. That's what I do. So I think I saw someone said that they're part of the formerly gated community. Hey, yeah, listen, let me just tell you this. When a person is in prison, if you all know someone that is locked up that's in prison and they have an out date, now everyone doesn't have an out date. When you come across someone that doesn't have an out date, or their out date is so far away that for all intents and purposes, they don't have an out date, they just need prayer. They need to understand that there is something else other than prison waiting on them. They won't spend eternity in prison. But those that have an out date, let them know that you can come home and you can do something. You can be something. Your life is not over. And so, Salo, am I saying it right? Glad you out, brother. Glad you out. You know what it's like in prison. Listen, let me just public service announcement. Don't go to prison. If you don't know anything else, don't go to prison. Prison is not for anyone. You used to go there? Were you there? He said, I remember workout cars. Yeah. Prison's not a good place. I don't know that anyone ever aspires to go in there, but it can benefit you. He said, I hadn't planned on, listen, you hadn't planned on going to prison? Me neither. I didn't plan on going to prison either. It just happened. It was my little federal hiatus, my little tour vacation. Prison's a cool vacation spot for Christmas. Okay. Listen, I recommend you don't do it. Not jail. Listen, the difference between jail and prison is, what's the difference? The difference between jail and prison is a 60-degree air-conditioned room versus being in a blizzard. Prison is different. It's just because it's a lifestyle. You now prison is it's a mindset. Jail, we're getting out. Prison, this is it. This is it for the next moment. It's don't go. So let me ask you guys a question. Now, let's see. We've got some of the moderators here. Of you moderators that are here, who's been here the longest? Is it you, Dinah? I think Dinah's been here longer than the others. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. The first. Was Chess Champ the first moderator? Who was the first moderator, Dinah? I don't even know. That's sad. I don't remember who the first moderator was. I think it was Chess Champ. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was Dinah. I don't know. Who was? Do you remember? Dinah's been with me so long. We were on. We may even talk about this. I might say something else. Chess was the first. Okay, all right. Dinah and I, and Carol, I think Tanya was also on our little group text that we used to be a part of. that all of us ended up moving away from. Most people, Dinah knows, they didn't even know about the drama that was going on in that particular group text. I know she's like, oh, that was. Someone asked me about that asked me about something the other day. I said, no, you don't know where a lot of this stuff came from. I said, if I, and I still have, iPhones keep those little texts. So that I may tell you about what I'm talking about. She knows what I'm talking about. It was just people grown-ups when grown-ups are stupid. when grown-up were stupid. Yeah. But I was sitting there thinking, what were some of the more memorable? Wait a second. Let's have a contest. Can you all know? Do you all know all of the moderators? Do you all know who are all of the moderators for this doggone channel? Let me pull them up just so I can make sure I don't forget myself. Do y'all know? Let's put you on the screen. There are 37 moderators. No, it's not that many. How many moderators are there? How many moderators are there? Where are they? There they are. Does anybody even have an idea of the number of moderators on the channel? Perfectly Imperfect. That's one. Yeah, that's Carol. It's a lot. There's a lot. Let me. By the way, I bet even the moderators don't know all the moderators. I guarantee you, the moderators don't know all the moderators. 12. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's more than 12. There are more than 12. There's one moderator who has been here. Wait a minute. Twice, maybe 3 times. Not counting myself. Not counting myself. As a matter of fact, if I type something in, do I have a wrench? If I type something in, will it have a wrench? Let me just test something real quick. All right. Does it have a wrench beside it? Okay, why is it? Okay, I'm sorry. It's in Greek. Hold on. Let me fix that. Why is my computer typing in Greek? That's dumb. Okay, hold on. Let me fix that. Why is it doing that? That's weird. Okay, let me fix this so I can take it off this Greek. There we go. All right. There is a key that I hit on my computer so I can change it from typing in English to typing in Greek, which if you're in seminary, you have to have that. Well, I shouldn't say that. If you go to Dallas Seminary, you have to have that. Your Greek professors and what happens is you never take it off. You just never take it off. Hey man, look at her giving good advice. If you become a mod and receive counsel from one who has been here a bit longer, do not get upset. There is a reason. Exactly. What happens is this. First of all, you never know who are the people who are in the chats. Some people are here for the first time. Sometimes folks are here and they've never responded. Y'all do realize, I don't know if y'all realize this. Chat people, do y'all realize that the overwhelming majority of people that watch don't engage in the chats? The majority of people that watch don't engage in the chat. So you can there could be 500 folks watching, and then you might see 40 or 50 people kind of typing. So what you want to do as a moderator, or myself also, is you want to be inviting and you want people to interact. And you want to make sure that people aren't, you want folks to feel welcome, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what's happening in their life or their day. Maybe they're normally pleasant, but today they're just having a bad day, or they might say something the wrong way. You have to kind of give them But let me just say this also, moderators, if someone types in all caps, but let's say they say, I thought that was, and then type in awesome, and one word was in all caps, let that go. Because sometimes when they see it and it gets taken down, they feel bad and they think, I'm not ever going to talk. I'm never, and they don't know. They don't know. Because, by the way, when they're all caps, it is harder for me to see them in all caps. I have to stop and really focus. I don't know why that is. All caps is different than lowercase. But we are a community of people, whether we live in Dallas or Miami or New York or Chicago, or some folks are, I saw someone from New Zealand or someone from South America or South Africa. We are a community of people who the only thing that separates us is just space. And if we're saved, well, then we're going to be with each other in eternity. I don't know how someone typed in that's right in all caps. Amen. Amen. Somebody's going to stop typing in all caps. But also now when they say stop typing in all caps, stop typing in all caps, right? Unless there's a couple people who I know have bad eyesight. So let them, but you want to practice being godly. Let me say this, if you can't be godly on the internet, if you can't be godly in the chat, man, is there any help for you? If you can't be godly and no one is in your face yelling at you, they just made a statement, a comment you disagree with. If you can't be godly, we got work to do. That's okay. It's okay. We got time to work. But if you cannot be godly, pray. It is hard being a moderator, and half the time with me, I don't tell you guys when something's happening. There's a video, and so it was like, doggone it, Corey. There was one day or one time that I think poor Sheila, I think she was at every video because no one it's like, and so if the video is up, I will see the video. I may not respond or interact in the video. I might be doing something else, but if I notice there's no moderator, I will moderate kind of from a distance. So when guys say, "Hey, there's no moderator here," yeah, there is. I'm there, and if a moderator shows up, then I might go back to doing what I'm doing if it's an uploaded video. But let's remember though that when you are typing, even though no one can see your face or your name or what have you, God can. Amen. Make sure that you represent to the best of your ability, because some of you guys that are in the chat, I don't know if y'all know this, but I know this for a fact because I see the emails and so forth, that there are people that look at you guys. There are people, whether you're a mod or not, there are people that look at you and they are taking their cues from you, good, bad, or indifferent. There are people that see you and say, you know what, I've had people say, man, I appreciate your moderators. They've done this. I've had folks complain and I've said, listen, if Corey, your moderator put me out, well, you had it coming. If they put you out, you probably had it coming. Now, I will defend my moderators because I just don't pick them just to be picking them, right? So I defend them, and we're supposed to have a moderator meeting if I can ever get my act together. But let me run down the moderators and see if you all can remember, if you all know who all the moderators are. I'm reading from in no particular order. Lakisa, Monkey Moves, Rashawn, I should say what their real names are. Rashawn, Catherine Lynn, Tyra, Scott Anoski, Dutch the Bible Thumper, Daryl King, Perfectly Imperfect, Lisa Atkins, Jeff Ellenberger, Dante, Cure for the Soul, that's Tanya. Wait a second, did I say? Wait a second, hold on. Dinah Reviews, but why is Dinah not? Oh, I know why. I know why. I'm sorry, Dinah, Sheila Mahone, and Chess Champ. And there is one other moderator. No, Scott wasn't the first with Chess. No, he came in. Wait a minute. Dinah, I think you were a moderator before him. I think, but there's one other moderator that you may have seen. She's been on here twice, maybe 3 times. And her name is Morgan Harper. She's the other moderator that you guys have no idea who she is. Who is Morgan Harper? That is my daughter. She's supposed to be doing a job, but then we just say, all right, fine, you're not gonna do your job. So, but she's the unknown moderator. And so every now and then she might pop in and you might think, okay, who's this person with a wrench? But that's her. That's her. And I am going to, Mr. K used to. By the way, Mr. K showed some, when I say absolute maturity and godliness, Mr. K used to be a moderator. I don't you all remember what happened, but Mr. K got upset with me. Won't say what it was about or whatever, but you know what he did? I think he not only did he email me, but he also put it in the comments and he apologized and I was not bothered or anything like that or whatever. He just moved on. But the way he handled himself and he showed himself to be godly. Because sometimes it's not about what happens to you, but oftentimes it's how you respond, what you do. Because again, God is watching, right? And we have had occasions on this channel where some folks have decided, you know what, I don't like you, Corey. As a matter of fact, Corey, it is time for me to go at you. It's time for me to, let me ask you a question, guys. Who has been your favorite, or not your favorite, I shouldn't say it that way, your most memorable guest? We have had some guests on here. We've had some people on here who don't like me. Some who do. Some that are in between. Some contentious discussions. My very first live stream, we had 2 guests on. I didn't even realize. I forgot about this. My very first live stream, I had, because I was apprehensive about doing a live stream, thinking I put this live stream up. I didn't want to have one person or 2 people in the chat. I didn't want that. All right, well, let's go ahead and do it. And so he said, Dupree. Do I have that? Where is it? Wait a second. Do I have it? I don't think I have it. I don't think y'all don't know who Dupree is. If maybe you don't remember who Dupree is. I don't have it. I should have had it lined up. What'd you say? C-Rock? Yeah. Did you all remember C-Rock? Hold on. Wait a second. Let me click on some of these because I'm gonna play some of these. I'm gonna play some of these people. The last time, do y'all remember the last time? No, actually not the last time. The second to last time that Marcus Rogers was on. The second time. People don't remember do y'all remember what I said to Marcus? This was the second to last time that Marcus came on. I bet he doesn't remember.
And I didn't.
We had conversations before. When you and I had conversations before, not about this, but about other things. What was the main gripe that I had against you? What was one thing I said that I always tell you that I would say to you?
You said a couple things about like how a pastor should carry himself, talking too much.
I said, Marcus, you don't listen. I said, Marcus, you don't listen. Yeah. When I tell y'all that, when I talk to these people, I tell them what I say to you guys, I say to them. when I talk to them, I said the same thing to them. I don't cut corners, but I'm also trying to be cordial at the same time. Marcus, you don't listen. You talk too much sometimes. Just Hirsch, quit trying to defend yourself. And what I know, I got pride. And what does he do? He keeps showing his pride. All right, fine. Here is this guy. He might be the most memorable of all the most contentious, maybe.
About that later.
We'll also back this up.
Can we go to once saved, always saved, sir?
I just did. I said, if anyone can refute what I just said, the Greek understanding. So are you saying that my understanding, that William Mounce's Greek understanding, that Dweez Fannin, that Daryl Box, that Bruce Mesker's, or even Daniel Wallace's understanding of the Greek is incorrect? If so, what is your understanding? What is your understanding of that Greek text? Now, if you don't know, guys, that is C-Rock Smooth. C-Rock Smooth is, I think he wished he could be adopted by Geno Jennings. Oh, he loves Geno Jennings. And we found out that not only is he bad doctrinally in a nutcase, but he's also racist.
I understand that you're totally flawed. For one, you went to a white man to talk about the original people on this planet. That's where your flaw comes from. And what you did to the last brother is what made me come on tonight. What you did was you took him into a neighborhood that he's not familiar with by taking him out of English and bringing him to Greek. That is a trap. That is an excellent setup that you've been using since I've been watching you.
Okay.
Excellent setup.
Do you know Greek?
You take a person out of their neighborhood and then look at them, they won't know how to get around. So you take people out of English, take them to Greek with this white man software, and then you say,
let me ask you a
question.
He's white. Okay.
He's white.
Is Google owned by white folks? Is that a white man's platform too?
We don't use Google in holiness. We use the Holy Scriptures. So
what do you
that's
use on, what is
what you're saying.
Okay, fine.
All my information comes from right here, the Holy Scriptures, bro.
Which comes from what? How did it come to you in English?
You say it comes from I dare you say it comes from
did it come to you in English?
What?
Did it come to you in English?
Dude.
Did it come to you in English?
So are you trying to say that English people?
Now, again, when I tell you that C-Rock Smooth is, what's the nicest way I can put it? How do I put this? He's not the brightest. You're going to hear what he says here.
Wrote the Holy Scriptures?
That's not what I said. I said
you brought the language.
No, what
English
language do you
people
speak?
or white people, right or wrong?
Do you speak any other language other than English?
No, as millions of other us don't speak Greek. So that's what you're hitting to.
What language was the Bible originally written in?
Corey, you know it wasn't written in English. Everybody knows that.
So I'm asking you, what language was it written in? We're having fun here.
Don't ask me a foolish question, bro.
Do you know?
Everybody knows. First of all, let's the original. Let's go back before written language. The hieroglyphics is where it all started, right?
You need to get listen, y'all don't know. Listen, C-Rock is putting you all up on game, as they say. You need to get you a hieroglyphics version Bible.
Right or wrong, Corey?
Was any of the Bible written in any hieroglyphics?
It was hieroglyphics before it even got into English.
Was the Bible written in hieroglyphics?
The images, yes. That was considered writing.
So which book of the Bible was written in hieroglyphics?
Dude, listen, stop trying to move the goalposts.
I'm not moving
this
anything.
Is about
you're making statements
that
you can't back up. What language was?
You're trying to pick my brain. Aren't we talking about what saved, always saved?
Yeah, we're talking about it, and I just read it out of John.
All right, so how did we get to the origins and the languages of the Holy Scriptures?
Let me read to you again. Kaigo didime actois zoein
That's the white man's writing.
That's not white man, that's Greek.
He's the one that made the website you're getting this from.
Okay, so the platform that you're on, which is owned by Google, YouTube, is that the white man's platform also?
Dude,
the one that you was crying about because they had demonetized you, about to shut you down. Is that the one?
Are you upset that I just showed these people that you get your information
and your
information from a white man?
You showed everybody that
I'm racist, but say that you get your information from a white man.
Let me tell you what you did. Let me tell you what you did. First of all,
you said I'm racist when I just found out where you got your little software
from. People are saying I should get. No, guys, I'm not gonna kick him off yet. No, I wanted to see if he has the ability to refute what I've said. Not just because all he's done so far is hurl insults. My kids. Not even my kids, because they're all grown. I'll leave it there. But yeah, you caught that. You trying to pick my brain. You trying to pick my brain. You know what's funny though? What's funny is his channel had gotten in trouble, and I was actually going to try to help raise an offering because that was his main source of income. But he's just so whatever he is. I don't want to talk. I don't want no help from you. All right, fine. Listen, brother, listen. Do you move on? I've been over to his buddy Tony Harvin and did a debate. It was, I think I showed you guys that before, that 1 versus 6, and he was one of the people that were in the chat and wanted to come on, and he was just, I can't talk to this dude. I can't talk to you. Some of the others. Oh, listen. Here is an absolute classic. I mean, an absolute classic. I was going to pull up the one with a couple times with Pagani also, but this is better. This is better. How many of y'all remember this conversation?
The fact that they would never allow me to have a conversation is because they know either one, this dude's going to roast me and end my career because I don't want the smoke, or number two, I don't care what he thinks, and that means you've dehumanized me. So either you're going to dehumanize me or you're afraid of what might happen if you get in the ring with me.
Okay, Mike says bring him on right now. All right, let me go ahead and, no problem. Let me go ahead and send you the link.
You know, you said I don't even I don't even know how many demons there are to go around. Well, there was a legion in one person. So it seems to suggest that there is a lot of them.
Well,
but more so than that,
it took one savior though, didn't it?
Oh man, you better back off before you get hurt.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I got to be a whole man, boy. Boy. Show you what I got, boy.
You want some of this?
Boy, I want a lot of that, boy. Show you what I got, boy. Look at you, boy. I'm getting ready to take you down, boy. Getting ready to take you down, boy.
I've been after this question forever. No one, and I do mean no one has answered this question. Why do you teach or believe or even written a book about generational curses? Where is the passage in the Bible? Since the abolition of any sort of curse that Israel had generationally was done away with under the new covenant, where do we get this belief scripturally that a Christian who is named by the Lord, has the Holy Spirit in them, can also be under a curse from heaven? Generationally, by the way.
But, and let me just say this, Corey, I think that's a great question. And I'm sorry nobody's just straight up answered you. But let me just say in 2025, I do want to take on my channel in particular, I want to take some time. I was just talking to one of my friends about this and do like long format answers where I break everything down. Now, to some extent, those things exist in the catalog of my sermons and preaching because I've been preaching for many, many years and that stuff's somewhere, right? So I just want to qualify what you said because sometimes the answer is there in the totality of the catalog, but it's just you don't know where it's at. So I think for me, now that I'm learning this YouTube thing, I need to make a video that literally says, here's what I believe about generational curses and lay it all out exhaustively. Here's what I believe about Christians and demons, right? Because I'm learning more and more that sometimes guys like you will say, hey, Signorelli's never, and it's like, well, I've been preaching 50 weeks a year for the last 10 years. It's out there. But I think what you're saying is like, where's the actual definitive, like, here's what it is. So I'm going to be working on that in 2025. You know what I mean?
Now, Mike, you all just keep listening because you're about to hear his answer.
Let me answer the question about curses, if that's what you want me to do. But I'm trying to respond to everything you're saying directly, you know? So let me start by saying this. You talked about my book. I'm pretty sure you didn't read my book. So when I wrote this book, but what I talk about in my book, and again, I have a whole sermon on this. It's in my book. That's why I want you to read it. What I'm saying in my book is, and if you read my book, I have a whole section. And my book, I literally have a whole section of my book about let's not blame everything on the devil. And that's what my book is addressing. Is that?
Okay, and so let me do this because I've got to get it ready to go. Yeah. And by the way, there's 30 times in that video. I'm not going to put all of them, but 30 times in that video, he talked about his book. But this is how I don't know if y'all remember how we ended the conversation on this channel. Go. I'm always happy to have these conversations. And I think for me, this is the issue that I have. And I think, and you might disagree. I'm sure you disagree, but I think it illustrates that, if I don't have scriptures, I'm still going to hold to what I feel. Because still at present, you haven't given the scripture, listen now.
But see, that's not true. I actually gave you a dozen scriptures. That's why when you make statements like you didn't give me a scripture, it's like I gave you Old Testament, I gave you New Testament. I can give you Ephesians 4:26 and 27. I can give you 2 Corinthians 11:3 and 4. I can give you Acts chapter 5, verse 3. I can give you 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 23. I can give you James chapter 1, verse 22, Ephesians 6:11 through 12.
And yet the problem is none of them refer to a curse.
But if your audience just takes what you're saying as if it's absolute truth, oh, Mike never gave a scripture. It's like, no, Mike actually gave a dozen scriptures and I can give you a dozen more. But when Mike, you make those statements, you're trying to make what a faulty parallelism.
Mike, none of the passages.
Like, oh, this dude doesn't know the Bible.
Well, I'm not. What I'm saying is, Mike, none of the passages that you gave, even the ones that you just rattled off, none of them refer to a curse, even a generational curse. Isn't that crazy? You give all those. Because watch the video, he doesn't give any verses, none. But then when I say that, he just rattles off a bunch of verses, none of them having to do with generational curses or curses, period. Like, dude, what are you doing? And so, but yeah, he's up there with one of my favorite that have showed up. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, here's one. Here is one. Here is one that this next person, we don't like each other. I have a lot of reasons why I don't like the guy. He is a dishonest person. In other words, he's a liar. He's more child than he is man. He just really is. I mean, since the first time that I've come across him up till now, he's just a dishonest human being. And his biggest gripe is this issue on eternal security. One saved. By the way, have you ever noticed how these guys, they really do get triggered over eternal security?
Howard Marshall is a person that your scholar looks up to. Okay, the credentials are not in question here.
I'm not saying they are.
But he comes to a different conclusion than your guy does.
First of all, two things. One, I don't know that to be the case. By the way, what he brought up here is he's saying that there's a guy named Howard Marshall who used to be the professor of Daniel Wallace. Now, I didn't know this, and then as I researched and found out, no, he was not. He was never his professor, ever. He just found where Daniel. This is, by the way, this guy's named Mahler. I don't know what his real name is. Maybe I don't know what his real name is. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. Could be Tony. Could be Francis. Could be Gerald. Who knows? Howard Marshall was never his pastor. I mean, his mentor. When he passed away, Daniel Wallace wrote something nice about him. That was it. But then he said, look up Howard Marshall. So a lot of what Mahler is saying is just an outright lie. Maybe not a lie. It's just that he's not bright enough to know what Howard Marshall actually wrote. Two, if that is the case.
I'm telling you it's the case.
Okay, so fine. So everyone also said that their Greek scholar, Michael Brown had a scholar who said he refuted me. That scholar did not.
You're not.
No. You missed the point. You missed the point. Okay,
I get the point.
Because you say it doesn't mean a thing, Mahler. Give me an article. Hold on. Because when you brought up Marsh the last time, I asked you, give me something. You said, go look it up. You told me to go look it up. I tried to. I didn't find a thing. So if you got something, send it to me.
Wait a minute. You tried. So you tried to find.
I didn't.
Howard Marshall.
Listen,
and you couldn't find him.
Are you not listening? I said.
I can't. I'm trying to talk, bro. I'm asking you.
Listen, what I'm trying to tell you. I said I could not find a Greek refutation. I can find people who know Greek who disagree. I can't find their Greek rationale. Do you understand what I'm saying?
What do you? Yeah, brother. Just
in case someone is joining, my issue was, if I read a text and I go over, this is my understanding of the text, and I'm basing it off of the Hebrew or the Greek text, or in this case, the Greek text, how the Greek is written, am I wrong? He says, well, there are people who know Greek who disagree with you, which I've never said otherwise. There are people who know Greek who disagree, but they never can use the exact same text and say, well, this is what this text means. You can't take this Greek this way. There is none. There's no such way to do it, which is why you find no such scholar out there, no such. When I say scholar, I mean a Greek grammarian, someone that maybe has been on a translation committee, someone who has, where's my doggone it? The dogs are barking. And I don't have, doggone it. There it is. Bam. Let me beep the other one. There we go. That shuts him up. But if meaning a scholar, I mean someone who has authored or been on a translation committee, a lexicon, a Greek grammar, something like that. So you tell me that other people disagree, but they never have any writing about the Greek, why the Greek disagrees with me. And that's really my point. And I don't know if he's just not quick enough to get it or what. I don't know.
The fact that they would never allow me to have a conversation is
I'm sorry, wrong person. I clicked on the wrong one. I'm sorry.
With all due respect, okay? Anglicans, obviously, those that speak Greek disagree with your interpretation of what's happening here. So this is where I need you just to be. Get to a baseline. You have Greek people that you're not a Greek grammarian. They are, and they agree with you. Then I have some that are your professor's professor, and they disagree with you.
No. By the way, can I say something? Can I say something? Especially for those who have been around here for a while. You guys that have been here for a while. one of the first things they always say is Corey is not a Greek grammarian. Corey is not a Greek scholar. Corey is not this. Corey is not that. Fine. I haven't seen anyone dismantle or show where this non-Greek grammar, this non-Greek scholar is wrong about those particular Greek texts. None. Not one. So it should be easy to go find someone to refute my pitiful understanding as it comes to the Greek. No, they're
Obviously.
not. No, they're not. Again,
Yes,
all you're doing,
yes,
Mahler,
yeah.
all you're doing is saying something because you say it doesn't make it so.
I'm not saying it's a fact.
Well,
bro.
then
It's
send
a
me.
fact.
Okay, text it to me.
What? Yes, I do, bro. That's why your professor of your guy that you always doesn't see it your way.
You keep saying
Doesn't see it your way.
You keep saying your
And
professor,
thousands
whatever.
of years of tradition, don't agree with you.
Mahler,
That's
I
why.
could care. Again, I'm looking at the text. I'm looking at the
then
text.
if you could care less, stop talking about academics. Stop talking about
Mahler,
academia if you care less.
Mahler, you brought that.
If you care less, then we'll care less about anything you're saying.
I will use the academics when I need to. We wouldn't have that kind of conversation. You brought up Daniel Wallace, and you brought up some claim that I've never heard of, and some of the person I said, well, back it up, because the last time, Mahler, you brought that up, I said, well, can you give me a link? Can you send me something? You said out of your mouth, no, you go find it.
So let me ask you a question. Is Howard Marshall? No, hold on. We're gonna put you on the record, bro. Don't run. Don't run.
No.
Did Howard Marshall?
I don't know what Howard
Marshall. Was he a teacher of your?
I have no idea.
All right, then. So you didn't look it up then.
I have no. What's funny about it is he either is lying or he didn't look it up. Howard Marshall was not a professor or teacher of Daniel Wallace. Now, the person who was his mentor, Bruce Metzger, and a couple others, not Howard Marshall. So I didn't know where he was coming from, which is why I said, hey, send me a clip, a link or something. No, you go find it. Really? I have no idea.
And stop.
I have no
lying,
idea.
Bro. Stop lying. You didn't look it up.
Mahler, can I ask you a question?
Anybody right now, look up Howard Marshall.
Mahler, because we're not going to do this. We're not gonna
Greek
do this.
historian, and you're going to pull him up. And you didn't, right?
You can do this on. You can do this on your
we're
channel.
not going to do this, bro.
We're
I'm calling you out, Corey.
Mahler,
Stop lying, bro.
Listen, like
I
a
asked
child,
you to do it. You can do it right now. You don't want to.
You came up
here.
No,
like a child, you keep running your mouth, and then people come up and tell you.
Bye, Mahler. Bye, Mahler. That was the best part. Click up. Bye, Mahler. Something else happened. I know what it was. So I called him up. I said, hey, listen, I'm not your kind. You're not my kind. That's fine. This is kind of how I normally deal with folks. You do a whole lot of name calling and this and that or what have you, which is fine. Listen, so I tell you what, you stay over there. I'll stay over here. We're not going to do this anymore. The same reason you brought me over onto your channel before to have a dust up with Signorelli. That's what you're after. That's what you're for. And so I told him, I said, you say stuff and you say it, in a safe place 1,000 miles away. Because if we were here, you couldn't say that to me or you try to get something started. And so he made it out as though I was threatening him. I didn't threaten you. I just said, I said, I'm glad that you are there. So that way, if you were here, we wouldn't get into it because you seem like you might want to try something. Or you're talking, which I don't think he would even say that. I don't think he's the kind of person that would say what he says to a person. I think he'll say what he says to a person at a distance. And I said, that's why you stay over there. I stay over here. I'll never talk with you online again. You and vice versa. We can be cool. We can be brothers at a distance. So what is he? Corey threatened me. I didn't threaten you. I would come online and threaten you. If I was threatened, I would say, hey man, if I see you, I'm gonna punch you. I'm not threatening you. I don't even know you. I don't even know your real name. I don't think anything more, but I think you're a weird guy. I think you're an absolute weird guy. And that's fine. That's fine. You told other folks who, hey, yeah, Corey threatened him. All right, fine. All right. I'm going around just threatening people. No problem. Now, I've had these issues before. Someone said, your most memorable guest. This can't be your most memorable guest. It cannot be your most memorable guest. It cannot be. Did cause you go from I don't know, 90 plus videos. I don't know. I can't remember the exact number, 90 plus videos. And then that's not even counting the times you've gone on other people's channels. But I did say this because someone actually talked to me the other day. And I said, y'all, you don't realize what this beef is about. Sheila, what's the beef about? Do you know? You don't know what the beef what the beef is about? Does anyone know what it's about? Why the 90 videos? Does anyone know why I've got 90 plus videos about me?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
The majority of my life has always been battling church folk. It has never really been with the world. It's been with so-called Christians, church folk. Yeah, church folk.
I was going to show his buddy, but anyway, yeah, okay. So people said, and by the way, that's the common thought. John MacArthur, J Mac, the beef's about John MacArthur. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not about John MacArthur at all. It is not about John. Let's go ahead and dispel that rumor. Let me just show you guys a couple of things. It has nothing to do with John MacArthur. This was one of the first things. This was one of the first things that bothered him. See if y'all remember this. You missed my point. My point is, was all of Israel atoned for on the Day of Atonement? Was every single Israelite atoned for?
Those who went for who had their sins atoned for? Not every single Israelite. No, not every single one.
But was it available for them?
Yeah, but we're not talking about that. See, you're going back to hold on. See, you're going to the old covenant. I'm dealing with the new covenant and how salvation is appropriated. Christ did not die for everybody because he made it clear.
He literally just said he did.
Hold on, he said
he literally just said he did. So, and I said he literally just said he did because now the issue was the two things that I disagree with, mainly with Calvinists. He's a Calvinist. Total depravity and limited atonement. We're talking at this point about limited atonement. And I said, Jesus literally just said, John's telling us that he himself is the propitiation for our sins and not ours only, but also for those of the whole world. And again, just looking at the text, even the Greek text, it's clear that he's speaking all of the world and those who are saved as well. Now, what you don't know about him is that he does not like to feel like he's been one-upped or wrong, and so he keeps going and kept going and kept going. I said, I'm not having. Let's have another debate. Why? If you thought you won, why did we need to have another debate? I don't know. You're like a dog with a bone. You don't want to let go. No, I'm through. And I knew you was going to do this. I knew you weren't going to get your way, or you felt like you didn't win or anything like that or what have you. And you want to keep going. And you want to keep going. You want to keep going. Listen, let's just say you won and we move on. I'm good. I'm good. But lest you think it's John MacArthur, I want you to pay attention to something. This is what I would caution you to do. Don't have a dog in a horse in a race, a dog in a fight. Did I say that right? Let's not get into picking sides. I'm on the side of the truth as much as. Now, I want you guys to notice the date of this. This is March 10th, 2022. March 10th, 2022. You're going to see someone pop up in the chats. As a matter of fact, I'm going to populate him in the chats. Possible. And if you're on that side, then we can rock together. If not, I got to call you out. But you're still my brother, still my sister. Love you to death. So we're not condemning him, but we're saying, hey, man, if that was wrong, that was just wrong, buddy. That was just wrong. Now, this is me having a conversation about, it came out about John MacArthur putting out Eileen. I thought, I still say he was wrong for that. If whatever you might have thought or whatever, and listen, you can do wrong. We all do wrong. You're going to mess up. Everybody's going to mess up, including John MacArthur or me or your mom or your daddy, whoever. The only person who won't mess up is going to be Jesus. And so I thought that he was wrong on that. And so now make sure you look at the dates. Okay. He said, Julie Royce is going to be on there with her this weekend. So now that's him. And he says that Julie Royce, he's going to speak to Julie Royce. He speaks with Julie Royce on March the 12th. Okay, cool. I will watch. I will listen. Now, if you notice what I'm saying, I'm saying I'm not saying, even after watching that, I'm not saying off with his head. John MacArthur doesn't have to step down, doesn't have to go away. I'm saying that. Now, I watched his video with her, and my initial reaction was, you know what, man, that's wrong. That's just wrong. Because you know what happens when you hear one side of it, it can kind of, make you angry. And no, John MacArthur, you got to step down. And everyone else, you need to tell them to step down. So I want you all to see if you can follow this. Okay. Listen. And I even told Seiko, I said, listen, when you had the interview with Jaco, with Julie Royce the first time, I said, I didn't find her all that credible. To me, it came off like she had an axe to grind. Also, remember, I've always said, I thought she has an axe to grind. He's never had a problem with me saying that Julie Royce has an axe to grind. But I can't, I don't know her motives, but at the same time, I don't know John MacArthur's motives either. But what's going to happen is tomorrow, in the days to come, people are going to say certain stuff. Yeah, John MacArthur. Well, no, John MacArthur is afforded some latitude, some grace till we get all the information. But some of the things we can say, yeah, buddy, you put her out. Are there mechanisms now? Because guess what can happen? Other people can also learn from this. Okay. And so I'm not saying, hey man, listen, let's just toss John MacArthur out. He's off with his head. That's not what I'm saying, guys. But I'm not also absolving him of anything either. Okay. That's the only thing. Yeah. Is that right, Ryan? Yeah. When MacArthur's topic, people get, that's got to be that. By the way, it's funny. Chess Champ, that's weird. Chess Champ wasn't a moderator then. I just realized that. He wasn't a moderator then. Who was a moderator before him? I don't know. But now, after that, he has his video with Julie Royce, and then I make a statement. That was on the 12th. Watch the date of the video now. My video after his video. She's bringing it up, right? She's out here. She's got a bullseye. She's got a dartboard with John MacArthur's face in the. Now notice this is March 14th. I make a statement on March 12th on his channel. I think John MacArthur ought to step down. I come back 2 days later, and now I'll tell you why this is important. 2 days later, and said what I'm saying now. On the bullseye, she's got a vendetta against him. She has a desire. She's got an axe to grind, and she wants to grind it in John MacArthur's back. Well, let's just for the sake of this say it's true. Let's say it's true. Now, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. Again, I've never spoke with Julie Royce. I've seen a couple of the interviews, and I did see this past weekend's interview when she was on Seiko Wood's broadcast. And I know she also did one with Ruslan. Am I or anyone else allowed to say anything about John MacArthur? Well, sure we are. Wait a minute. This guy, he said it's $9,000 a month. Get you some new. Do you know what those glasses are? Those aren't these glasses. But do you know what those glasses are? Those glasses, I think these are it right here. No, those aren't it. Doggone, where are they at? Oh, here they are. Here they are. Those glasses, Senior Conrad, are these right here. Do you know what these glasses are? These are the glasses that I got in prison. That's those glasses that I'm wearing. So they work. They're good glasses. Stop. You know what, Senior Conrad? Can you stop picking on me on my own channel? No, wrong video. You got me all messed up. You just picking on me on my own video. Sure we are. I'm not rebuking. I'm calling out an issue here. I'm not saying John MacArthur off with your head. I'm saying we got a serious problem. Now, you hear what I'm saying? I said on 2 days after I called for John MacArthur to step down, I then come back and said, no, you know what? On second thought, I'm not saying John MacArthur off with your head to deal with. And if you have done wrong, according to this very same passage, you ought to be rebuked in the presence of all. That means that we're going to kill you. That means that we're going to, get rid of your retirement, stop your stipend, no more royalties or anything from the John MacArthur Study Bible. No, that's not what we're saying. But we're just calling out. And then you have to come back and say, you know what? I did wrong. Now, do I think that disqualifies? Notice the date on this one. This is also September 5th. I'm saying the same thing again. I'm not calling for John MacArthur to step down, and I'm not saying he's disqualified. Disqualifies him particularly as a pastor? No, I do not. Again, while there's a high barrier, a high standard for a pastor to reach, the standard does not approach perfection. And in someone like a Tony Evans's case or a John MacArthur's case, these are men who've been pastoring for an awful long time. They are going to say something and do something that is going to be wrong at some point in time. Now, pause. So when he says that I flip-flop on John MacArthur. Dog it. Where is it at? There it is. When he says that I flip-flop, clearly I didn't flip-flop, did I? What I said in the very last video was what I said for the entirety of the time. Now, there's a reason for that. So you can't come back and say, Corey, you flip-flop, you flip-flop, you flip. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. And oh, by the way, we had conversations about this. But here is the real reason. There were some underlying issues that were happening here. And he's going to tell us one of the other real reasons.
When the infamous Echoes and Soundbites video was released, Corey Minus told me that Michael Williams had some good points that he made against me in the video. Did y'all know that?
He didn't like that. Again, I will tell you what I think, whether you like it or not. Hey, listen, I disagree. I said, yeah, Mike Williams has some points. He has some good points. I've said other things about him to his face. He didn't like that. He didn't like that. I won't show you some of the group text chats and so forth. The group chat, what is it? Group text, the text from some of the group text, whatever. But there was always, there was things were going downhill before then. It just was. It was going down before then, and then some of the silly things that were taking place. When I tell you this man is an absolute silly man, when I mean that, I'm not going to the level. By the way, there are hundreds more video clips to kind of make him be seen by everyone else how he is. But yeah, I got put in a group text. I didn't volunteer for it. I got put in a group text and just talking back and forth, what have you. And I didn't speak in the group. Matter of fact, Dinah could testify. I didn't speak a lot in those group texts. I really didn't. I didn't, that's just, it's not me. It's not my thing. And so, yeah, we all got put in the group text, didn't we? Why? Why do you start putting folks in a group text that didn't ask? Well, why? I'll tell you why. Because you just want, you like conversation about any and everything. And so therefore, I'm involved, and there's a whole lot of other stuff, but ladies and gentlemen, it was never about John MacArthur. Never. It was about someone not going along with him and holding his feet to the fire and him wanting to look a certain way. That's it. That's it. So, who else do you all think were some of your more favorite people, not favorite, but people, more memorable guests? I've got a couple that were memorable. Here's one. And by the way, when you look at this, notice something. I think in a lot of areas, he's contributed a lot, in apologetics, but in some other areas, he's hurt a lot of people. And that is Dr. Michael Brown. The one spiritual gift, if this isn't an example of it, the one spiritual gift that we never see in the Bible, we may hear it talked about, but we never see, is the gift of interpretation. And so to me, this is how I take it, that on that day, there were people who are hearing them speak in different languages. They spoke different languages. And so they speak to these people. They give them the gospel in this different language. And then the issue is, since the word for interpretation just simply means to explain, well, then, so now we got Peter, so that everybody, so that one, the people that are speaking it can understand what they're saying, or that the people that are speaking it absolutely know what they're saying, the people that are hearing it. But then what about the people who have no idea what these people, what Peter and what John and what Thomas and Bartholomew, what they're saying? Well, then now Peter gets up and tells them exactly. So now Peter gives interpretation. Otherwise, we don't have one example of anyone in the Bible ever using the gift of interpretation we hear talked about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number one, interpretation is not explanation. Those are two different things. Those would be different words that would be used. That's the first. If I have an interpreter, I don't need an explainer. I need an interpreter. If I'm preaching a message, right, I don't need them to explain what I'm saying. I need them to interpret what I'm saying.
But okay, so my question though is, because now when I look up in the different lexicons, just for verification, when I, like, for example, BDAG, when I look up interpretation, it's telling me to explain and to make it clear. So, and I was floored when he first said that interpretation, the Greek word for interpretation, does not mean to explain. Like, yeah, it is. That was me seeing that all doctors aren't on the same level. Maybe you have an expertise in something else, which doesn't necessarily lend itself to other areas. But because he's charismatic, he's going to defend, in this case, tongues, or go against what I'm saying. Because again, my notion was, if interpretation doesn't mean what I say it means, what I think it means, by the way, others believe what I believe also. Is I didn't come up with this. But if it means that, then guess what? That means that it's the only spiritual gift that's mentioned in the Bible that there is no example of it being used. We don't have, think about it, we don't have any example of anyone getting up, giving an interpretation in the Bible. We got every other spiritual gift that's mentioned, known, or an example of it, but that one. And so that one caused a lot of hubbub. And I think it kind of helped him to not really think too much of me. I really do. I'm not getting a gift card from him. By the way, you know who else I'm not getting a gift card from these guys either.
He's right here. You see that? Corey! You let Nicole air out. I'm sorry. So we're here, Corey Minor. We're here to talk with you and go through the scriptures as brothers and see what we can,
They weren't guests on the channel. They just came to my office, which wasn't my office. I still am. I'm blown away by that. You didn't come to my office, but if you did, you came on. You mean tell me you flew 1,000, 1,500 miles to come to my office, not talking to me on a Sunday? It was a Sunday that he went there, thinking I would be in an office. First of all, why would a Christian be in his office on Sunday? Why? Secondly, sometimes you can get to be a bit myopic. You can get too focused on one thing, and that's your whole world centers around your PhD. Centers around that, and it doesn't mean that you are all knowing. And now, by the way, what I've also noticed is this: that a lot of people, be careful. A lot of folks with PhDs want to back up their PhD, want you to understand and appreciate their PhD. And sometimes they say some things they should not say, but they feel like that they are competent enough to say other things. And then you'll also notice that some PhDs will do this. How they got their doctorate is not how they treat everything else. They don't go back and do research. They don't go back and earn a statement. That happens a lot. So even still, when you see a person who has a PhD or any sort of letters behind their name, don't take what they say. Go and look at what they say and compare it. Matter of fact, the video that I just put out on Patreon, it's a little bit longer video, but I said, don't trust me, don't believe me. I could be lying. I just could be wrong. Attributed them an honest belief that they just might be sincerely wrong, but do like the Bereans and go and search up and look and see, is this person telling the truth? Are they correct? By the way, stick around. You guys are going to see my acting chops. You all don't know this about me, but I am one heck of an actor. You don't know this, but when I say actor, a great actor, I'm talking about, was it Emmy Award worthy? I am, not Grammy. That's a singer. What's the other one? Emmy. What other awards they give for actors? I'm going to show you guys my acting chops. I mean, listen, they should put me in a movie. They should. I'm going to show you my skills. I am ready for an Oscar. That's it. I deserve it. You're going to see Oscar-worthy performances in just a little bit. But I had a conversation with a person who I didn't think was a racist, but I wasn't sure he was a racist. He could be a racist. We find out now that he is a racist, and he's just not that bright. This guy really is a Bible moron. He's going to say, this is Mr. Joel Webbin. Joel Webbin believes that all things being equal, if we're going to bring in someone from another country, it's better to bring in someone from, let's say, Europe than from Africa. And so I brought up people from Ghana and Zimbabwe versus someone from the UK or Ireland or Norway or what have you. So when you think of the UK or you think of Zimbabwe, what do you think? The person that you think of that's coming from the UK, probably white. The person that you think of as coming from Zimbabwe in Africa is probably black. And so I asked him about what he states. And I want you now, by the way, he believes that because you want people that hold to your Christian values, because he's a Christian nationalist. Keep that in mind. He's a Christian nationalist. He wants Christians in the country.
Less compatible with these United States. And so right now...
What about immigrating from Ghana or Zimbabwe?
Well, it depends. It depends. I think Ghana and Zimbabwe are certainly more compatible than Haiti.
But what about more compatible than Ireland or the UK?
Zimbabwe.
This is the problem. This is the problem because you're going to have so many Christians from Ghana and Zimbabwe, but if they're coming from the UK, what you did is you made whether you see it or not, you made a comparison based on the way they look. Because if you think UK or Ireland, you're thinking somebody white from UK. But what about somebody? But what about
Muslim?
Somebody from
Muslim
Zimbabwe?
From the UK. Go ahead.
But okay, so you got a white guy from Zimbabwe, from the UK who wants to come in, and a black guy from Zimbabwe, and his family wants to come in. Who are you giving preference to?
And let's say they're both Christian?
No, we don't know what they are because they didn't put in an application. There is no application that said they're both Christian.
So it's just a white guy from England and then a guy from Zimbabwe.
Mm-hmm.
Which one am I going to give preference to?
It seems like you're going to say UK.
I'd like to say neither because right now we need zero immigration for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to choose and I could only choose one, then yes, Corey, I would choose the guy from England.
Why?
I think because it's the culture and the history of England. Because our nation came from England.
Not all. Wait a second. Of the we've got 13 colonies, or we've got an entire nation that some came from Spain, some from Portugal.
That's right.
So all England. We all didn't come from England. But even now, 200 something years later, we're talking about someone that came from, because UK is not a Christian country. But
right.
We've got the average black person that you'll see on the streets, irrespective of where they came from. The average black person that you might come in contact with is more likely to be we don't know their heart, but at least a professing Christian than the average white person you would see. So he doesn't catch his point how not only how he's racist, but he's also stupid. He's not caught up on the facts, because I chose a nation in Africa that is majority, at least professed Christians, more so than the UK. And so if you're after Christians coming in, then you would want the Africans who are Christian, since you're more likely to get from Zimbabwe a person who's a Christian than you would from the UK. Now you might get someone who's a Christian from the UK, but you might get a Muslim, you might get an atheist, who knows? And then the average black person in America is more likely to be a professing Christian than the average white person. Doesn't mean that all blacks are Christian or all. That's not the point. Is though, this shows a flaw in your thinking, that you really just tell the truth, Joe, and shame the devil. You really want white folks in and not blacks. You really want white, not brown. You don't want Hispanics. You don't want Asians. You don't want even Asians. You don't want, and we know it's not Asians because he has an issue with Asians. What he wants are white people. Come on. Tell the truth, shame your father, the devil, and let's just be clear about it. But he didn't catch that. And now he's gotten a lot worse since then, because he's digging his feet in, because doggone, I'm right, I'm gonna stay right. Okay, fine. You'll be in hell, my friend, if you don't repent and dig this, allow the Lord to dig this racism out of you, this hatred, and it's hatred, the way that he has spoken, him and others. But I just thought that was interesting, him being on here. There's some other folks that have come out. I'm not going to cover all of these people that have been on here, like the Leighton Flowers and so forth, which, by the way, that was a good conversation of him being on here. But I want to go ahead and show you guys how awesome of an actor I am. You don't know this. You don't know this, but I'm an excellent actor. Yeah. Let me just show you one. Listen, I'm so good at acting, I don't even have to say anything to make the point. I steal the show in this one scene, and I don't even say anything.
Hi, we're in the neighborhood sharing the good news of Jehovah. Do you have a moment?
Awesome. Awesome. Didn't even have to say a word. Awesome. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Corey, you need to go to Hollywood. Nope. The only reason why I won't do it. The only reason why I won't do it is because I couldn't fit in. I could not fit in. Now, that was that was a video about the Jehovah's Witness. But that was not my first foray into acting. No. I had to take the video down only because I did not want to receive. I got tired of receiving all the phone calls. Corey, listen, we got a part for you. We think you'd be perfect for this part. We think you'd be perfect for the part of Iron Man or Thor. Yeah, they were going to have a black Thor or a black Iron Man. I said, no. Well, listen, we got a role for you. Have you ever heard of a place called Wakanda? No, I have not. Listen, we want you to come and act. You're going to be the Black Panther. And I thought about it. I said, no, but can I be the smart Christian Panther? They said, no, it's got to be the Black Panther. I said, well, no, sorry about that. Can't do it. Can't do it. I turned the role down to show you why. Listen, they saw this clip and they said, I've got to have Corey Minor in this show. And I said, no, I can't do it. Can't do it. Here it is. This is me talking about, of all things, white privilege. Now I'm starting to rethink everything that I thought about white privilege. I mean, I thought it was a hoax. I thought it was just some junk. But then I see you prancing around, just wanting all the attention for yourself. You think you something special just because you white. I'm starting to believe that now. Just because you white, you think you special. You think you better than everybody else. And I'm starting to believe so just on the basis of you being white. What else can I think? You're so selfish. You always want what others have. You always jumping in front of the next person just to get what they got before they get it. You want everybody to notice you just because you think you special. You do think you are better. You think you got privilege just because you white. You think you deserve better just because you white, don't you? Don't you? Do you think you deserve better and are better just because you white? But you're not going to answer me? All lives matter, coconut. Black lives, black dogs, brown dogs matter. Even cats matter. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Come on, you want to go protesting? Tell me you didn't feel that. Tell me you did not feel that. Just the energy coming through the screen. Yeah. I was beating off those Hollywood agents with no. I'm happy where I am. Thank you. Amen. 5 stars. Y'all didn't know I had it in me. You thought all I could do was push buttons and look at scriptures. Nope. There's a whole lot. Listen, when I talk about talent, yeah. I got a question for you guys though. This is the part that I've been waiting to get to. This is the part that I've been waiting to get to. And I want you guys to tell me what you guys think. We are good for playing some clips here. We are good for playing clips here. So I'm wondering which clips that we play do you think are the best clips? And I have an announcement. I have an important announcement after this. But which one of these clips, what clips do we play you all think are? Now here's a new clip.
When all you do is read Bible scripture and you're just doctrinal, but it's not experimental, you get the words messed up.
That's a good one. But I don't know if that's going to win. I don't know if that's going to win. By the way, my favorite one to do, this is my favorite one. It's not really a clip. It's more of a picture. Yeah, I like this one the best. It's like, what are you guys doing? What in the world are you people doing? What's the best? Oh. Now this one gets played the most.
You can be saved and stupid. Tweet that. You can be saved and stupid.
Yeah, that will go down in YouTube history.
You's a liar.
That one we could pretty much use every day.
You're gonna have to learn to respect me.
To all the demon slayers, that's for you. What about my demons? My tongue demons.
One more time, I couldn't hear you.
I love the poorly educated.
What's your favorite? What is your favorite? You know what I wish? I'm gonna have to update my I'm gonna have to update my clips too. I need to bring in some more. I haven't played this. Here's one I haven't played in a while. What's your what are you guys' favorite? I think it's probably gonna be Use a Liar. What about Sir Walter Jones?
Don't be a dumbass. As a matter of fact, the dumbass was smarter than the prophet.
I had to make sure I told everybody what he was actually saying.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey.
To fix my little sin, I gotta go back and fix all those. You like Sir Walter Jones better? I think I know what it is though. I absolutely know which one you guys are gonna choose. I know which ones you're gonna choose. I think these are the honorable mentions.
No! Why?
Look, old man, you better back off before you get hurt.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I got to be an old man, boy? Show you what I got, boy.
You want some of this?
Boy, I want a lot of that, boy. Show you what I got. Look at you, boy.
You see, because you're not gonna like anything I say. Well, that's okay. Just tell me. Well, first of all, I mean, Fred, you're rotten. Fred, I mean, just deep down, low down, rotten to the core. Now, Fred, take it from a friend who knows.
Yeah, but those aren't at the top, are they? Those aren't at the top. Let's just get to the chase, and let's cover. We already know which one's number one. Yeah, Dutch and his dancing. Do the Dutch. That's literally the name of that dance. It's called the Dutch. Do the Dutch. I think that wins. Now, it's better. It's better than Sheila's dance. Sheila can dance. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Sheila can get down. By the way, can I ask you guys a question? Let me ask you guys a question. What is do I even have it? Do you all remember, if I can move this out of the way, let's see, where is it at? I'm trying to figure out, do I have it over here? There it is. The intros have changed. All the intro, well, not all of them, but the intros have changed. Did I bring it here? Where is it? If I can find it. Did I move it over? It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's that. Is it that? No. Okay. Do you all remember what the first intro was? ESPN intro. Does anyone remember what the first intro was? Is this it? Yeah, there it is. Let me send this over here. Does anyone remember what the very first... I bet you don't. Matter of fact, I'm sure you don't know what the first intro was. Let me play it. Let me make a screen for it first. Do that. That was being pretty boring, pretty cheap. My buddy from high school actually made that for me. He actually made two of them for me. He made that one and he made another one. So I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna use that one now. And then we went to the horns. Where is it at? Where are the horns at? If I can find it. Oh, here it is. Do you guys like either one of those? Now that we don't use the horn when people are like, I don't know if I really liked that one before. Thank you. That's still my joint. Thank you. That's a classic. Yeah. What was that for? That's your favorite one. So for what, 2 years? By the way, here's what's funny. That was only supposed to be around for about a month or two, and it was going to make some adjustments, some changes, and put some extra tracks in it. That's just too much work. Too much work. Dottie said the original is better. Now, I do like this one. I'm not gonna lie. I do like the new one. I like that one. I really do like that one. I really do. Yeah, he said this one's fun. I do. I think I like the new one better. And by the way, the guy, his name is Levester White. He actually took that track or parts of that track, and he's a musician, and sold it to someone else. Found out, and I said, "Oh, doggone, I got to take it down." But I asked him, "Is there anything that I can do? I'll pay you for it. I love that thing." And he said, "Listen, I watch your show. I like your stuff. Just let folks know about me." Man, that made my day. But I do like that one. I now have to do one for the other channel. Here's why. Starting tomorrow, you'll see more guests over here on the main channel. You won't really see a whole lot you'll see some, but a lot less reaction videos over on this channel. The reaction or the response videos, those will be on Biblical Response. That's really the point of that channel anyway. So, which also means, let's say let's say Kenneth Copeland says something dumb and it requires a live stream. So the live streams we'll have those sort of reactionary live streams over there, which means we got to have some sort of intro, right? So we'll have that. Those will be over there. All over here will be just more boring stuff, the good old boring stuff, boring videos about doctrine. And now we might respond to someone's doctrinal view and just kind of dissect it. So this will be, related more to theology, life application, and so forth. So we're going to talk about some things more so over here that, I'll put it this way, you'll see less of other people's faces on the thumbnail on this channel. So if you see someone else's face on a thumbnail, it's going to be on Biblical Response. If you don't see someone's face on the thumbnail, that will be over here. That means that if, let's say, I don't know, some pastor got arrested for shooting up some people. We'll cover it over here, and his face will be on the screen. But the majority of those sort of videos are going to be over there. Does that make sense? To kind of keep the two separated. So this will be the more boring, the more boring channel. I don't mean boring like the senses. I froze. Did I freeze? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I see what it is. On the other channel, yeah, I don't know what happened. That's weird. On Biblical Response, I froze, but on the main channel, I didn't. I don't think. Did I freeze on the main channel? That's weird. So yeah, I just saw that on the main channel. I mean, on Biblical Response, I froze. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. But I think that people really want to hear the word of God. And I think that you don't have to entertain people. I think you can have the word, make the word entertaining. I think you can preach or speak from a passion and you don't have to dress up things. I don't think you have to try to say cute things. I don't think you have to use cute little cliches or try to use verbiage or the vernacular of people today to try to get a point across. I don't think so. I don't think you have to be in your 50s and try to act like you're in your 20s just to make people think that you're cool. I don't think so. I think that the best way that you can be cool is to be the cool you. Now, we'll talk about certain topics. As a matter of fact, some of the topics are going to be kind of, what's the word? Some are going to be more controversial. And we're going to talk about, matter of fact, tomorrow, we're going to have God Logic here on tomorrow. We're going to be talking about how do I, if I'm being bombarded with Muslims. There's an issue, and we're going to talk more about Islam in this country and the threat to Islam, the threat to this country by Islam going forward a lot more than normal. We're going to talk a little bit about at least one or two more times about some racial issues. I don't know what's happened to this country. I really don't. Let me give you an example. I had a shirt on a week or two. Maybe, I'm not sure. I had a Turning Point USA shirt on. And I had it on for a reason, for a point. And there were people who got upset with me for having that shirt on. Now, I want to show you the ignorance and how we have gone down in this country. If you are cool with me in everything that we talk about, but I bring up something that you don't like or I have a different view as it relates to race, I can't trust you anymore. I gotta, really. Meanwhile, 20 years, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, a lot of us were in lockstep agreement on a lot of the racial issues that we are divided upon now. A lot of us were in lockstep agreement, and I can prove it. I can prove it by just going back and playing some of your favorite political characters from today, what they said 20, 30, 40 years ago. If I asked you who said this, Donald Trump or Joe Biden, you think, well, Donald Trump said that. Who called somebody an N-word? Well, that was on tape, Joe Biden, but because you have been told by other people what to be mad at, who to hate, who to fight. As though we can't I should be able to have a different political or social view than you, and we can still be brothers and sisters. But now I'm a racist, or I hate my people, or I'm this. And by the way, it's not just the left attacking the people on the right. It's also the right attacking folks on the left. You are engaging in racial idolatry. Sometimes we go a little too far with that stuff. Sometimes the person, again, I said it before, do I think that a Christian, if they're voting, should they have voted for Kamala? I would say probably not. I don't there's no Christian reason to, but I'm not going to say you're not a Christian if you vote for Kamala or if you voted for Biden. I'm not going to say that. It's just let me just say this again, ladies and gentlemen, and I want someone to come and say, no, Corey, you're wrong, so I can tell you, I think you're ignorant. If you're going to tell me that a person is not a Christian because they voted Democrat, something's wrong with you. If you're going to tell me that someone's not a Christian because they voted for a Republican, something is wrong with you. You got issues, the kind to which only the Lord can fix. Because you can sit and talk about what salvation, how we are saved by our faith, and then all of a sudden I agree with everything that you agree on, and then we start talking about Donald Trump And so Donald Trump is the reason why I'm not saved or you're not saved. Biden or Kamala Harris is the reason why you're not saved or I'm not saved, or Barack Obama or George Bush. That's the reason. Really? The government shutdown is how you could know that I'm not saved? Are you serious? You are an idiot, socially speaking. You have let social issues cloud your mind and move you away from the things of the Spirit. Paul says, set your mind on the things above. Knucklehead. And then we get into it as though there's only two races, black and white. No, we're not. You've got Hispanics, you've got Asians. Which type of Asians? You've got Native Americans. We are some weird people. We really are. So weird. We become so tribal in what we do and what we think and how we behave that you've got people who don't even get along with people who are of the same family members. My brother is so far to the left, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And he has problems with other people. And I said, dummy. I call him dummy. It's my brother. I can call him dummy. I said, dummy. I didn't call him dummy, but I do call him dummy sometimes. You know I love you, and if someone does something to you, I'm there. I'm Johnny on the spot. But you and I disagree on a lot of stuff. So we can't hang out because we've got political views. Don't bring them up. Don't talk about them. I don't go around talking about political views all the time. But we can't even eat dinner together. We can't hang out. We can't be at the family reunion because you're for Trump or you're for Biden. Really? 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 And we do the same thing for certain theological reasons. Now, some reasons are reasons why we can say, you know what, we're not on the same team. But if I am Arminian, or I am provisionist, or I am a Calvinist, or I'm not a Calvinist, but I have some Calvinistic leanings, you are biblically ignorant if those are the things that separate you. Because neither of those things are the meat of the gospel. All of those things speak about how we got saved, what led up to it, versus what the gospel is, that I place my faith because I'm no good, place my faith in Christ, the only one that can redeem me. He did, and I trust what he did, and that through that I am saved. That's how I'm saved. But then we open up the hood and we think, well, was I chosen or elected? No. If you think that people were chosen or elected, that's another gospel. Or if you think that people weren't chosen or elected, if you think people died that Jesus died for the whole world, you ain't saved. Or if you think that Jesus didn't die for the whole world, you ain't saved. Really? If you think you can lose your salvation, that means you ain't saved. Or you think you cannot lose your salvation, you ain't saved. Really? Really? You got this different eschatology. I'm still waiting. Listen, I don't smell any smoke, but I've been waiting for someone to come and tell me. I heard someone say that dispensationalism is a heresy. Come here and say that. Come here and say that. Now, I'm not a dispensationalist, but I will defend it. Tell me my hermeneutics is heretical. Tell me so I can say your mama. I'm kidding. I won't say your mama, but tell me. Now, I could be wrong, but it's not heresy. You clearly don't know what heresy is. Tell me you're done without telling me you're done. When we as Christians say, now, by the way, you can be a Christian and say and believe some dumb stuff, right? Isn't that right, Mike?
You can be saved and stupid. Tweet that. You can be saved and stupid.
You can be saved and stupid. And sometimes we prove it. We show it all the time. It's funny how we talk about how much we love and appreciate our salvation, but we are some of the first people to kick folks out. But Corey, don't you say that this person ain't saved? Go back and count the number of folks that I said ain't saved. And then go back and look at who and what the reason is. But you think that, did you say that folks that believe that you can have a demon can't be saved? That's not what I said at all. No, as a matter of fact, folks got mad at me for saying I'm still of the belief that Dr. Michael Brown is saved. Now, he might not be, but he believes all of those things. I know a lot of folks that believe that Christians can have demons or believe in generational curses, and I believe that they are saved. Certain people who have these intentional acts, who keep doing things, who I've talked to behind the scenes, that's why I believe that they're not saved. When you keep doing certain things. When you keep doing certain things. Now, there are some people we don't have to guess. If you're going to tell me that Jesus isn't God, well, there's no debate. As far as we're concerned, you're not saved. If you're going to tell me you have to keep the law, you're not saved. But Corey, if you're telling people that you have to keep the law, then you're telling people that they can break the law. That's not what I said. Wow, who taught you? We're not telling people to live in a lawless fashion. No one said that. We're telling people not to adhere to the old covenant law. That's what we're saying. Some things you don't need a law for. Some people, you need a house rule to say, clean up your room, make your bed up. Some people, they don't need one. They do it. They can't stand for things to be out of order. Have y'all seen that? Anybody been in prison? There's a rule. You don't know about the rule until you violate the rule. You don't know about this particular rule until you violate the rule. That is, you cannot have a dirty room. You can't be dirty in prison. They're literally, at least in the BOP, the Bureau of Prison, there literally is a rule against that. A lot of folks don't even know there's a rule because I never violate the rule. Some people, you have to have rules or instructions on how to cook certain stuff. Some people, I can't recall my grandmother ever looking at a recipe. No, she just knew how to cook. Anybody have a grandmother that was so good at cooking, even when she messed up, she made a new dish and it was good? Some folks don't need a rule. I don't need a rule to tell you, again, I don't need a rule to tell you, for you to tell me how to love my children, to take care of my children. Nope, just do it. I just do it. I don't need a rule to tell me not to hit a woman. I just don't. Some of you guys need a rule. That's how it goes. And so I'm not going to sign up to join a set of beliefs when my heart is such a way that I automatically am going to do the right thing anyway. Are you with me? So if I sign up to join the Law Keepers Guide or the Law Keepers Bureau of America, I'm going to hell. But if my heart is such a way, I'm going to love folks and love the Lord to where, guess what? I don't have to worry about any of those things. Does that make sense? But some people don't know. Some people don't know the word, don't know the Lord. Is this Corey? Yes, this is my channel. It depends on which one you're on. Oh, you're on Biblical Response. Yes, there are two channels. By the way, I don't know where it is. I actually was going to do this, and this would have made Chess Champ happy. I was going to bring out the YouTube plaque. It's somewhere. It might be back there underneath some stuff. I was going to bring out the YouTube plaque. I haven't seen it since. You know what's funny? I think I brought that thing out. It's literally still in the wrapper. I brought that YouTube plaque out the first time it came. My family saw it, and they asked, "Well, Corey, what are you going to do with it?" Well, they didn't say Corey. They said, "Daddy, what are you going to do with it?" And I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm not going to do anything with that plaque. I'm gonna nothing. One daughter said, "Well, Daddy, can I have it?" Yeah, you can have it. Put it in your room. I'm not going to do that. But I think I've pulled it out of the plaque. I mean, out of the box. It literally is still in the box. I pulled it out 3 times, 4 times. But here's what's funny though. The other channel, Biblical Response, it is at this very moment let's see where it's at. Let me click on here and it'll tell me. It's at 97,618. Wait a second. Huh? Hold on. 97,618 subscribers. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm streaming on both channels today. So in the next week and a half, it'll be over 100,000. Why? Because at its current pace, it's probably averaging about 2,000 subscribers a week maybe a little 1,500, something like that. I don't know. By the way, subscribers really don't mean anything. They really don't. They really don't. Whereas this channel probably adds, the main channel adds about 2,000 or 3,000 a month. So the other channel, I think, actually gets more views, but I put a whole lot more into this channel. So, but I don't care. And at some point in time, you'll see less and less on both as we get ready for the in-person Bible studies and eventually the church plant, if that's the way the Lord leads. So praise God. Praise God. I want to do two things. Have you ever messed up so bad that, yeah, you're supposed to watch both of them. Doggone it. Yeah, she said I watch both of them. You should be watching Smart Christian's channel and Biblical Response. By the way, you know how late and corny I am? The channel used to be Smart Christian Living or Smart Christian Life. I don't even know what it was. Smart Christian Life or Smart Christian Living. And that was just for the time being. I was supposed to fix everything. I never did. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. I'm going to leave it like it is with that whole little dun, 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 dun. That was, I didn't even mean to do that. I get so behind on things. But anyway, have you ever messed up so bad that the person that you messed up, you just, man, I want to fix it. What can I do to fix it? Is that you? Have you ever messed up so bad, the person that you messed up, what can I do to fix it? That's me. Lord, I messed up so bad. What can I do to fix it? Meaning, I think I know the word. I think I have an understanding of what you're trying to get across, and I want to convey that to other people. But I also want to convey it in the way that you conveyed it to me. No, not by beating you up and putting you in prison. No, I want to convey it in the loving fashion that he did. Anyone that talks to me is going to find out that I'm not mean. I'm not harsh. I'll be cordial. Now, there comes a time where we're not cordial. And there comes a time where, listen, if you know me, if you ever talk to me in real life, you'll know listen, I can play the dozens. We can go back and forth, and I won't get offended or bothered. You can call, man, listen, you can say something about me and we can have fun. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way we grew up where we'd say certain stuff, just dumb stuff, to just knock you off balance, right? You say something goofy about me and we're just having fun. I can do the same thing back. Yeah, you smell like your microwave broke. Just dumb stuff, right? I want to be able to just go wherever you are is where I want to be. If you're high-minded, I want to be high-minded. If you're just kind of in the gutter, hey, let's not do that too. If you on some thugging time, I can be there too. If you want to be, if you want to be the theologian, I can be there too. If you just want to just be regular old, just Joe Blow, amen. So what I want to do, I want to communicate the gospel to people in wherever they are. I want to share the love of the Lord wherever they are and do both, put them both together, marry the two, marry the word with his love. And so we'll talk about things that are just kind of, what happens if I have done something to my spouse and we can't get past it? We'll, by the way, we're talking about that this week. What about different roles in the household? We'll talk about that, but we'll lead with the Word of God. What about? By the way, has anyone ever asked a question? We talk about, I don't know why this question always comes up about marriage, but no one ever asked a question. What if you did something, you stepped out, and then your spouse left you? Could you get remarried? We'll talk about that. What about, I've got a bad sexual past? What does the Bible say about that? I've done some things to my children. I don't mean sexually. I've done some things to my children. And I feel like I can't get past that. They won't let me past that. We'll talk about that with the Bible. I've got a past that won't let me leave it. I'm haunted by my past. Anybody ever feel like they're just haunted by their past? Your past doesn't have a mind. So what is it about me? What is it about me that keeps reminding me about what I used to be? Because wouldn't it be one thing if other people are always trying to remind you about your past, but they ain't even around and you reminding yourself about it? Yeah, we've got to bring up some scriptures for that. Because can we just be honest? Let's just tell the truth and shame the devil. Every last one of us in this chat just messed up. We just jacked up. Come on, $5 worth of dirt, knuckleheads. We're just dummies breathing. So how do we get past that? Remember, God is trying to use all of that. God is trying to use all of the stuff, the bad stuff, the horrible stuff that you did, and the horrible bad stuff that was done to you. He's trying to use all of that. Is there a passage that tells us that, Corey? No, I don't believe so. Y'all do realize, unless God is lying, there's a passage that tells us that he's trying to use all of your mess ups and everything that the devil has done to you, or that has been done, everything that you might claim to be the devil. All of those things are things that God wants to use to help you. I know so because the Lord says so. And we know God is letting us in on his plan. We know. Who's the we, Paul? Us? In other words, Paul is saying, you big dummy, we should know. You ever seen someone give you the benefit of doubt when you don't deserve it? And we know, no, you don't know. You have no idea. You have no clue. But we know, Paul is saying, we know that God causes all things. Two things, sunerge, which means to work. There's two words that's there. Ergon, which means to work, and soon, with. What is God doing? What is he doing? What? You just noticed what? I just noticed what? I don't know what that is. I can't see what that says. But we know God causes all things. Now, again, the word causes is the word sunerge, which is, if you look below me, it's made of two words. Soon. Oh, it's a mic. Oh, it's the word soon, which is with, and ergon, which is work. So God is the one that's working with. What's that mean? That means he's taking the with. What's the with? What is he working with? Well, he tells us all things, panta. All things sunerge, panta sunerge, which is all things. What does the word panta or pan or pas mean? It means each, every, all. Here is one of those times where every definition of the word pan, panta, pas, where every definition fits. God is working with every, with each, with all things. You name it, whatever it is. God is the one who's working with. Notice he's saying not you. He didn't put you in this. God is working with all that stuff. All that stuff God is working with. Why? Why? For the good of who? To those who are called according to his purpose. That's you. Knucklehead, that's you. He's working with all that mess, all that crap, all that junk, all that slime, all that sludge, he's taking all of that. How can a person who's been molested now live a free life and help other folks who've been molested? How can a person who was an alcoholic or on drugs be used, go through all that stuff to help someone? How can somebody who has been either sexually free, shall we say, or been violated, how can they be used? You felt like my past is so dirty, so disgusting. What's the text say? God works with each, every, all of that stuff. But Lord, but you don't understand. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do know. I do know. Who was there? Who saw it? Who kept you alive? Or who didn't kill you when you sinned? Of course I know. I was there. Where were you that it escaped me? Were you somewhere out of my presence? The Lord would say, no. And so what are you doing, Lord? Well, I'm going to take that. I'm going to work with all of that. The name calling, the backbiting, the stabbing, the prison time, the losing your money, losing your house, the bankruptcies, the divorces, the cheating on, the beating up, the getting beat, the beating on someone, all of that stuff, the drugs, the alcohol, all of that. I'm gonna take all of that stuff because I'm God. I don't know if you recognize that. Maybe you've forgotten. Maybe some of you people have forgotten that he's God. I don't think you know who he is. I don't think you did. Because if you did, you wouldn't say half the stuff that you say to him thinking that he doesn't know. You tell God something and God will just look at you like, have you ever had someone look at you as though, y'all seen it. You say something to somebody and look at you like you are a moron. When was the last time you had the moron look? Not you doing it, or maybe you did, or someone giving you the moron look like, right? Just like, and everyone's different, but you can tell when someone's looking at you like you are a complete moron. So God will look at you like you are a complete moron when you tell him as though he doesn't know what you're going through. But by the way, he looks at you like you're a moron worthy of love. He loves you. Lovely said today, did you give it or someone give it to you? Like, are you serious? Really? Really? My grandson, 3, he's about to turn 6, he's 5. He gives us the moron look all the time. Because he's a smart little boy and he thinks that we're not. And he gives us the moron look all the time, like, well, God does too. Because he says, I'm literally taking all of these things. And here's what's funny. Here's how dumb we are. I mean, listen, I'm telling you, we are dumb. Isn't that God's track record? Whatever you're going through, is it the first thing you've gone through? And hadn't he been working with all that stuff? It's not like you've given God a whole lot to work with. You haven't given him good material to work with, but he takes it and builds it. He takes it and fortifies it. He takes your weak, fortifies it to make it strong. He takes your hurt and uses it to help someone who's also been hurt. So he's going to work with all those things for those of us, that's you if you're saved, who've been called according to his purpose. You're his. Why? Why is he doing that? Because he's trying to make you into something that you never were, that on your own you would never be. He's conforming you into his image. So when Jesus says, I won't leave you, I'm putting his spirit in us that we will do greater works than these you will do. Not better, but greater. There's more of us going around who have the Spirit of the Lord in us, he's conforming to eventually look like him. That's what he does. And sometimes y'all fight him. No, God, let me just go to the corner somewhere. Let me just bury myself and die. No, I'm trying to build you into something. I'm trying to make you into something. You're making it harder. But I'm going to get glory. Either God is going to get glory one of two ways. Ladies and gentlemen, one of two ways. You better figure this out. He's going to get glory either through you or in spite of you. Don't be the one that he gets glory in spite of. Where, you know what, he's an example of someone who would not repent. She's an example of someone who did not want to trust in the Lord. Because some of you are demonstrating how little you trust in the Lord, and you might be demonstrating that you've never placed your faith in Christ to begin with. That might be the issue. So I beg you, you ain't got to trust in yourself. You ain't got to trust in anyone else. Trust in him, his track record. I know you all know he's got a good track record. How old are you? How old are you? Just do me a favor. While I'm looking at something, can you all just for me, just help a brother out, type in the chat your age. In the meantime, thank you, Potato Sandwich. I like it. Potato Sandwich. I like that. Thank you for your super chat. Also, J.R. Ruiz or J. Ruiz, thank you as well. Susan Johnson, thank you as well. Is there a way to pray? Well, no, I don't take payment for one-on-one consultation or talk and stuff like that. But send me an email. Let me know what the issue is about or whatever, and then perhaps we get in touch that way. Joey's a snitch. He says, this is a hater, but that's okay though. He says Steeler Nation, and he spelled Steeler wrong. He spelled it with it. It's all right though. Spoken like a true Steeler fan. You guys did play good yesterday. 5 turnovers, and y'all barely won. I'm kidding, y'all didn't barely win. Mark Johnson, thank you also, brother. He says Democrat Party or listen. I'm not saying that the Democrats are for godly things, at least right now. But you can be a Christian and still be that way. Now, there's a reason why I want you guys to put you guys' age. First of all, I want to see how old some of you folks are old. Lovely put too old. I want to see how old you are. Devonta, are you 27 already? Okay. 43, 31, 49, 50, 53. Stanley, you 53? Okay. We're right there, same age. Bettina Montoya, 56. Orange, no, you're not. Are you really 71? Have mercy. Are you really 71? I've never seen your face, but I don't know what it is. You type like you're younger. How about that? Big Nate, 37. Steve is 52. Mo, you 57? Okay. Now Faith, 43. Dejana, 41 on the 28th. That means you're 40. Dinah's 45. Dinah tried to, let me tell you what Dinah tried to do. Dinah is she's Gen X, but she's barely, when I say, I mean barely Gen X. And so I guess she wants folks to know that she's barely, that she made it in. She made the cut, which I understand. I'd rather be Gen X than Gen Z or millennial or whatever. So I get it. She said 57, don't look it. All right, so amen, sister. Go ahead. 42. 35 and a half, going on 57. Now, which one are you? Look, you 50? Are you 50 really? Okay, Cassie's 33. I'm tell you where I'm going in a second. Becky is 41. Soldier Fire is 39. Vic Ma or Vic MA, 25. Now, I told you all the rules. Just in case y'all don't know. Keyshawn is 24, young. You still a kid. You still a baby. I told y'all the rules. Faru the Guru, 33. You still listen. You ain't there yet. Leah's 50. Rant Man is 54. Swear to God, he looked like he's 60. 54. Linda's 57. 41, 37, 25. Now, listen. 58 is the new 30. Say that, sister. Say that. 51, 49. No. Not you, Mo. Not. There's another Mo. There's another. Not you, Mo Ortiz. Pastor Mo. He's not you. She said, "Oh boy, here we go." Listen, I can. By the way, she said. Hold on. Let me do this also. Where she said, Corey has agreed to join me on a live one day. All you got to do is tell me. Just say, "Hey, I'm whenever you want to. I'm ready." All right. I told you guys the rules. Let me tell you the age rules. I said before, now you're 18. In America, you are legally an adult. That don't mean nothing. 18 means nothing. You made 63? Amen. 21 at still nothing. Difference between 21 and 18 is what? 3 years worth of more dumb decisions. No. You get 35, we consider you an adult at age 35. At age 35, you are an adult. But you ain't grown yet. When you get 45, then we can call you grown. Almost. You kind of are a man or a woman. You kind of. Yeah. So don't be throwing around this, I'm 30. Yeah. You ain't grown. You ain't grown. Listen, when we all huddled up and your little young tail walk in, we're going to tell you, get back over there, kid. Get back over there, little kid. When we have the Thanksgiving dinner table, you at the little kid table. Did y'all have that? Anybody have a little eat at the little kid table? Yeah. Don't come in here talking about how old you are. Nope. If there's not at least, I don't even want to say that, but there's some admittance to this club. Not just gray hair, because nowadays some of you young folks are getting gray hair. People in their 20s with gray hair and balding. But you gotta have some gray hair. You gotta have some wrinkles. You gotta have a bark. This is when you know you're older, when you got a bark. What's a bark? Anybody know what a bark? This is a grown person bark. What's a bark? When you say it and the young folk know it. You ever barked at somebody? You ain't gotta bark long or loud. What? You ever do that? Talk to somebody young. What? And what'd you say? Or who? Excuse me? Or have you ever, do you remember when you was in your 20s and 30s and you was thinking you was this and your mom and your daddy went off on you? Yelled at you? When they, I didn't even realize my mama still cussed. Yeah. You gonna have a certain bark. And see, right now you in your 20s and 30s, you bark, ain't nobody care. You bark, they don't want to fight you back. When you get old enough, you bark and folks like, huh? Okay, all right. Yeah. What do they call older women? They call the men Unc, OG. What do they call you older ladies? Huh? Auntie? Okay, auntie. Okay, auntie. Okay, auntie. Unc, auntie, yeah. When you taking medicine. when you taking medicine. When you got pill bottles that look alike. Brown with the white top, you got to get up close on them. You got to get up real up close to see, okay, this is what, when you take medicines you can't pronounce. That's when you a man. That's when you a woman. When you can't stand up straight quick. Come on, TT, tell the truth. Come on, Fo. Listen, I know Fo. Listen, Fo look every bit of 67. You don't take the same one twice. Have you ever done that? Forgotten? You got medicine and you forget. Did I take it? Did I take my? Yeah. When you get older, you can't stand up straight fast, can you? Okay, hold on. Yeah, ain't that? Yeah, you start growing before you stand up. You prepare yourself. What's that about? What is that about? No, Monkey Mood, you ain't there yet. You's a youngin'. All that though, you know what you got though? I told you I'm going somewhere with that. That's why I put all your ages up there. All of that you done went through should have done something up here and up here. See, what happens is the older you get, the more this and this starts coming together. The more this and this starts coming together. And you can see things better the older you get. We're still talking about God working things. I hadn't forgot. We're still talking about God working things out. So let's scroll back up to these ages, because I want you to see what I'm talking about. I want you to see what the Lord has done. I don't think some of you know what the Lord has done, and we're getting ready to leave. I don't think you all know what the Lord has done. So let's just scroll through something. I got it on the screen. Y'all gonna, Corey got my age up there. We're gonna scroll through there. What does that age mean? That is how many years God has proven himself to be working with all things. That's how many years, Big Nate, God has been working all things. Orange, that's how, Stanley, that 53 years God has been working with all your mess. I got something better though. I got something better than that. Dinah, for 45 years, Cordell, 46 years, God has not only been working all your mess together. Nope. Nope. Diana, you didn't grow up in a house by yourself, did you? Dutch, I know you left home at age 13. But you didn't grow up by yourself, did you? You had other people interacting with you, right? Is that right? Catrice, were you on an island by yourself? David just 27, but he's been around other people, right? You have had other people. Look at your ages. And I want you to think about something for a second. You have other people in your lives, good or bad. I want you to see what the text says. Y'all didn't catch this. You didn't catch it. And we know that God causes all things. What things? Just your things? So yeah, I'm 53, but he hasn't only just been working with my stuff. I had a mama and a daddy who had some stuff. That's part of the all things. I've had some brothers and sisters who've done some stuff. That's part of the all thing. I've had some people that wanted to kill me. That's part of the all things. I've had some folks who want to do me wrong. That's all thing. I've had some folks that I've done wrong too. That's part of the all things. I've had some people that wanted to do something to me sexually, something physically, something financially. I've had all those things coming at me, and there was a demon attached to it, smiling. And what does the Bible say? He's worked with all those things before. And you think you got something new? He's worked with all of that. Oh, wait a second. He didn't just start with you, did he? Let's go back to your ages. You're 48, you're 53, you're 61, you're 27, you're 45, you're 42. Guess what? He was working with all things before you. He's been working with people in slavery. He's been working with people who own slaves. He's been working with people who have killed people. He's been working with people who have been aborted. He's been working with people who did the aborting. He's been working with people who have trafficked people. He's been working with people who've been selling their bodies. He's been working with people who've been strung out on drugs. He's been working with people who had anger issues. He's been working with people who've been shot at, who've been shot. He's long before you were around. He's been working with all of that. Again, what does the text say? God works with all things. He works all things. You name it. Now, after you realize that he's worked all things, not just your life, but those who are involved in your life and those who you've never met, and he's been doing it ever since the garden, do you have any doubt as to, or any reason to doubt that he won't be working all things in your life for your good tomorrow? Now you've got 50 something, 40 something, 30 something, 20 something, 60 something reasons to shout amen. Amen.